But there are dancers in the room, people who are professionals, and one of them is going to lead us in an icebreaker dance. And we're going to move our bodies and shake and, get free because this is a platform for what? For dialogue. So it's going to be, engaging and it's going to be inclusive. So let's put our hands together for a very amazing young man by the name of Jihad. Jihad, come on. Come and show us how it's done. Here you go.
Thank you. Good morning. Ngaramtse. Ngaramtse Neza. I would like to do a warm up, like a quick warm up to before we start. I'm gonna ask you all to stand up, please. It's easy. We're gonna have fun, okay? So please come in front, like leave the chair behind. Okay. Let's fill the space. Joy. Okay. So easy. She's going to be my assistant. You face okay. Like let me face here, then you face them. Okay. So we're gonna start with uh stepping in front, then bring it back. Okay. Then look behind, then front. Okay. So we're gonna do it again. 5, 6, 7, go. You go 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Let's go. One, one more time. Let's go. One more time. 5, 6, 7, go. Hey, 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice. Beautiful. Let's go one more time. 5, this side. 5, 6, 7, go. Hey, 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, go. Hey, 1, 2, 3, 4. What we're gonna do, we're gonna do it twice, okay? So we're gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Let's go. 5, 6, 7, go. Hey. 3, 4. And okay, so now we are doing movement, but now we're gonna dance, okay? So we're gonna do add you know, 5, 6, 7, go. Hey, 1. Hey, 2. Okay, 5, 6, 7, go. Hey. Hey. So, but we need to add voice, okay? So we're gonna do ah ah let's go 5, 6, 7, go. Hey. Uh uh Okay, so after that we're gonna do so twice. Then we go 1 this side, 2. Okay, let's go 5, 6, 7, go. Hey, 1, 2. Then 1, 2. Okay, 5, 6, 7, go. Hey, 1, 2, and 1, 2. So we're gonna put everything together. Okay, 5, 6, 7, go. Hey, 1, 2, uh, 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 go and step, back and step. Okay, if you get it, clap yourself for yourself. Okay, let's go one more time. One more time. 5, 6, 7, go. Hey, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, and 2. Hey, and 3, and 4. Okay, we good? Can we try with the music? Or we start again without music? With the music. DJ, let's go. Let's go. Hey, move. Hey, let's go. Hey, and 1, 2, and go. Hey, hey. Pause, pause, pause. You guys are not dancing. DJ, let's do it one more time. I want to see you guys. Let's go. DJ, enjoy. Like, hey, do whatever you want in the beginning. Hey, let's go. go. Hey, hey, one, two, and go. Hey, woo, and go. Hey, nice. DJ, stop. Okay, so we're gonna add last part, then we have the movement. Okay. So the last part is going to be like one. Okay, it's one down, bend a little bit. One, two, up, up. Okay. 5, 6, 7, go. It's a 1, 2, 3, 4. We start on this side. 5, 6, 7, go. Hey, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Okay? So we're gonna do it like 8 times. Okay, 5, 6, 7, go. Go down, down, up, up, down, down, up. Again, down, down. Hey, 1, 2, up, up. Okay? So we're gonna do it without music from the beginning. Okay? Let's go. 1, and 5, 6, 7, go. And 1, and 2. Hey, go. Hey, 1, and 2. Hey, and 3. Down. 1, 2, up, up. 1, 2, up, up. Good job, guys. These are with the music. What do I have volume? Volume. Let's go. Yay. Let's go. Hey. Woo. Again. Ho. Thank you guys. Thank you so
Hey. Uh-uh. Uh-uh. DJ, don't stop the music now. That was fun, wasn't it? Did you learn a good dance? Yay! This DJ, you will. I forgive you. Put your hands together for Jihad. That was amazing, right? Awesome, awesome, awesome. So we are going to kick things off. In my language, it's like, "Bata bani ko maja lo man yobe." DJ, thank you. Bring the music down. Okay, when I wanted to dance, you didn't play me music. Now you're playing. Okay, thank you very much, everyone. So we're getting things started now, and we have a plenary that is moderated by Erini from the Heritage Management Organization. Please put your hands together for Erini. And as she comes up, let me just make a quick announcement that we are available on all your social media platforms. So if you're taking selfies or you're taking video clips, please tag us on all your social media posts. And the hashtag is Ubumuntu 2025. And you can also hashtag cultural diplomacy Unconference as well. We're on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, everywhere. So give us a tag and give us a shout out. Thank you so much.
We're in, yeah, great. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to day 2. I think I will be used to start my day here with you, but unfortunately, it's the last day of the Unconference. Welcome to today's panel discussion titled Heritage as Dialogue, Local Voices, Global Resonance. As you know, my name is Irini. If it sounds easier to you, my name means Machorio in Greek, so I'm from Greece. and I work with the Heritage Management Organization as Rwanda Projects Manager. Having worked in Rwanda for almost with the heritage sector in Rwanda for almost the past 3 years, and having supported a range of heritage projects, I've had the privilege to meet some truly remarkable organizations and individuals, people doing important work grounded in deep respect for their cultural roots and traditions. So we are here today to explore how community-rooted heritage projects, often grounded in memory, creativity, and resilience, can serve not only as a means of cultural preservation, but also as powerful tools for empowerment and global connection. I would like to introduce our panelists because I feel lonely here, being alone. I will call Dave Nkusi to come here. He's a heritage professional, University of Rwanda. Anaclet Karangwa, who is managing director at Ivomo. Wherever you want, feel free. We have Gregory Bakunzi, founder of Red Rocks Initiative for Sustainable Development. And Theodore Nzambonimpa, managing director at Beyond the Gorillas Experience. I hope later your applause will be warmer because you will understand how important work these people are doing here in Rwanda and beyond Kigali. So it is a good opportunity to speak what is happening in this country, not only in Kigali. So our panel, as I said before, brings together inspiring individuals who lead heritage initiatives in Rwanda. Each of these projects that we will learn more about in a while speaks to broader questions about identity, dignity, healing, and exchange. So together, we will reflect on how cultural heritage can act as a form of dialogue between generations, between communities, and even between nations. I will first give the floor to David as a heritage professional and also I'm collaborating with David in the framework of the Heritage Management Organization, just to give his comments about our session.
Yes, good morning, everyone. Yes, as Irini said, I'm a heritage professional. I teach heritage studies at the University of Rwanda. Do I have my students here? Ah, okay. Thank you, thank you. Yes, besides being a teacher at the university, I am the national focal representative of Heritage Management Organization in Rwanda. An organization that has impacted a lot Rwandans in terms of capacity building, in terms of support. We give small grants and direct grants from Mellon Foundation. So we shall talk about more about that. Of course, with the local voices we have here in front, they are going to tell us what they do in detail. And yes, first and foremost, heritage is for us all, and heritage connects humanity in terms of space, time, and place. We are here, we are in this space at this point in time. So heritage is connecting us in different ways. So much more about maybe Heritage Management Organization. As I said, we do support, we do capacity building, and we have so far given grants to over 16 projects in the country, and equivalent to around 5 billion Rwandan francs that we have so far given out, and through Melon Foundation, of course, and the Heritage Management Organization. Besides Heritage Management Organization, we are now trying to set up a local umbrella organization, which is called HIRWA. HIRWA is Heritage Initiatives Rwanda. We want to see the impact on the ground. We want to bring out the voices of different communities in terms of heritage management. So HIRWA will be a local organization that will be like an umbrella organization that will coordinate all these projects that we have in the country. And through these projects, we would like to integrate university students who will be doing like professional internships, paid internships, and these university students from maybe history and heritage studies, maybe from tourism, will have a chance to put into practice what they have studied. The professional internships will be like for 1 or 2 years. So that is something important. Would like to engage these university students, because after school, they normally have no jobs, and so instead they will be integrated in these different projects that we have in the country, and I think it will be more impactful. So we want to engage local communities. We want to see how we build trust and ownership of heritage in the country. So local communities we've had what we call colonial orientation that has for years distanced these local communities in managing their heritage. So we are trying to decolonize heritage management practices in the country. And we want local communities to take lead, to have their voice, to be recognized, to be respected, and with inclusion, equality. So that's all about community engagement. And I think, let me give maybe the floor back to Erini.
Yeah, thank you, David.
We shall continue from there. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We will have some time to discuss more. Now we will give the floor to the experts of community-based initiatives and projects. I will start with Anna Klett. He has prepared also a presentation, so if we can show the presentation, and Anna Klett, please start your introductions.
Good morning. I am Anakle Karangwa, the Executive Director of Ivomo. Ivomo is a social enterprise which focuses on involving local communities in conservation and heritage management efforts for responsible and sustainable tourism. Oh, did I read from back?
Yes.
Yeah, I've said that. So we are a social enterprise, as I said. We offer eco tours. Now we are in the conservation of tea, because where we operate, it's southwest of Rwanda, Rusizi and Nyamasheke, where tea and coffee were introduced first time ever in Rwanda. We are also in a Nyungwe destination, a tropical forest. One of the big landmarks is Lake Kivu, and we are also developing like a cross-border tourism. We advocate for gender, so we want to develop inclusive tourism. So that's what we do. You can see photos of what we do in general. So next slide. Yeah, that building is the first tea factory which was introduced in Nyamasheke late 50s, early 60s. Those ladies, most of them, they're tea pickers, but we train them in sewing or environmentally friendly handicrafts. We also, I think you've heard about Nyungwe Marathon. We organized that with the purpose of promoting local businesses and also involve local communities in the conservation efforts. Next slide. We have a big project now, which is called Imanzi Heritage Village. It's a big land we've taken, which where used to be, that used to live people, but most of them were killed during genocide. And we say we can really preserve this land restoration. We are planting indigenous trees. We also develop memorial trails and also set up a memorial garden and to develop a memorial circuit to preserve that history. Next slide. Yeah, the big purpose is land restoration, preservation of natural and cultural heritage. As we speak, not only memorial trails, but we also have fauna and flora. We do that for mass education. We have schools visiting that place. Also strengthen the unity and the reconciliation among the people around, genocide survivors, the rest of the population. And even we have, among of the tour guides we have, there are those people who were involved in genocide, but who were forgiven, but they recognize what they did, but they're also contributing to unity and reconciliation. Next slide. Yeah, we've developed memorial trails, as I said. We have 4 camping sites. People can come and just spend a day. We have some facilities people can use. And also if they want to do like a gastronomy experience, they can do that. Do blacksmith, pottery, cultural dance, but focusing with indigenous dance, which we call Inhuatwa. Yeah, we've created jobs, and we have nurtured the spirit of really preserving the environment around you and the heritage. We have a backup, the government sector cell and the district. And also, as that village was, it is in the pipeline of the application from RDB to UN-based village. Next slide. Yes, the impact now, yeah, local communities have got job. You can see we have created around 1,000 jobs. We've planted trees, fruit and indigenous trees, around 3,200. We have also, we are outreaching that number of people digitally and physically. We have established what we call Namayabakuru, Community Council of Elders, to manage the land, the site. And we want that site to become a community conservation and heritage management center to help people. Next slide. The site now how it is, you can walk around, visit historical site, water sources, places where used to be people demolished the house, but we want to really build something to say this is a place where used to be this family. They were perished during genocide, but this is the story, a special story of the family. The memorial garden, we have a garden representing each family with the uniqueness of each family. So we have, can do tea picking, farming practices with locals, and also some benches, and you sit in a forest and you meditate, you really link with the nature. Next slide. Yeah, those are local communities working on that land. Those people working with the school teachers paying a visit so that they can also interest students. We work with their school to plant some fruit plants to be used in the future for school feeding. Yeah, thank you. This was it was an idea before. It wouldn't have come true hasn't been the support from Melon Foundation through Heritage Management Organization. So our dream came true thanks to Heritage Management Organization. Thank you.
We thank you for giving the opportunity to learn more about your culture by implementing such initiatives. And I'm very happy because I knew this project almost from the beginning. As you said, it was an idea. We will follow to the next presentations. Keep notes, because after that we will be very happy to interact with you based on what we will listen today. So now let's move to Greg from Red Rocks. He has also a video. Would you like first to present a little bit yourself, and then we will show the video?
I can first introduce myself.
Yes.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Greg Bakunzi. I'm the founder of Red Rocks Initiative, which is a community-based organization. We are based in the northern part of Rwanda. Our professor, let me just call him Professor David, has just said that it's a voice from the communities. We are the voice, we are the local voices from the community that have benefited from the heritage management. But in a few minutes, I'm going to show you also, so that you can hear also the voice from the players who are on the ground and how they are doing it. I'll be showing you the video about what is going on. And our idea is to see how can heritage culture be a dialogue among the civilization. How can it bring peace? How can people interact through the heritage, the culture? We have been using this since 2007, and we have got a lot of success stories in this. We have seen the impact of how community-based tourism can benefit, how heritage can benefit the local communities, and how it can even create. We are talking about Ubumuntu. If we are talking about that peace, and without peace, there is no this kind of heritage. Everything could be falling apart. So we have been having guests. When guests come to us, what do they want? They want to engage, they want to interact, they want to experience, and that's what makes us. And how can the locals, if we are talking about heritage management, we are thinking, how can these heritage programs or activities be sustained? How can the community sustain them? They can sustain them through benefiting from that. So that's the platform we have created. And I would like to ask the guy to show us a very quick video of like 4 minutes. And then after that, I will definitely need to hear more from, especially from the students that are here, who are also studying about heritage, culture, and you see, I think one thing we need to know is, if we just keep the culture there, how will the communities who are on the ground can benefit from that? If we are studying, you are educating, you are studying all about heritage, culture, but how? And who are the players? The players. And the question also goes to the students who are here. Does culture really need modification, or it needs terminologies or visibility? So those are some of the few questions that I would like David's students to answer maybe after this. I have seen a couple of hands up, but I want to know if really culture, heritage needs a modernization to be modified. Do we need to modify it? If someone is coming from Nigeria and they are cooking the different ways, can we modify that, or we should just leave it as it is? So I will just need to get some answers from that. But let's quickly have
Let's see
a look on
the
on
video,
the video.
if it is
Thank
ready.
you.
yewe nitwa Mukasirive Damarisi, ntuye mu murenge wa Rugero, akarere ka Nyabihu. Ndi umumama wubatse, afite abana 7 n'umugabo. Turi ababumbyi, dutunzwe n'ibumba. Iyo mvuka nasanze abakurambere banjye ba data ba mama basogokuru ariwo mwuga bakoraga. Ubwo rero natwe tuvuka tubyiga. Natangiye kubumba mfite imyaka 15. Bimazemo imyaka 55. Nkora muri Rodregisi, niho mbumbira mu kigo cy'abakerarugendo. Cyiza cyo gukorera muri Rodregisi ni uko haza abanyamahanga bakareba ibyo dukora. Usibye no kuhakorera utuntu bihangano byanjye, bakaba ba mukerarugendo babigura, banaraza nkabigisha kubumba, tukanungurana ibitekerezo, nkabigiraho nabo bakatwigiraho, bigatuma n'umuco gakondo wacu umenyekana. Tubumba ibikombe, tukabumba udusorori, tukabumba amavazi n'inkono ziteka. Ibumba rifite akamaro, ndaribumba, nkabumba amavaze, nkabumbira abaturage inkono zo gutekamo, imbabura zo gucanaho, ubwo nkazijyana nkabona amafaranga. Nta mwana wanjye usonza ngo nuko yabuze ibyo kurya, ibumba niryo mbese ridutunze. Ibumba ritegura indabyo. Indabyo nabyo mu bidukikije nabyo birimo, si ubwiza se? Rikoreshwa no mu buvuzi, nko ku bagore batwite baribumbamo inkuri, bakavanga n'indi miti ya kinyarwanda, umugore utwite akajya ayinywa iyo nkuri y'ibumba n'imiti ya kinyarwanda. Nanone rikavura n'umugongo, ibumba ribamo umuti. Ibikoresho bikozwe mu bumba ntabwo bijya bitera kanseri n'ibindi bikoresho bikwiye kubaho. Urabona nk'isafuriya iyo uyikubishije situruwaya hari utuvungu tuvamo, iyo tugiye mu biryo nibwo wumva ngo umuntu yanduye kanseri. Ariko icyungu cy'ibumba iyo kimaze gukoma gihiye, ntabwo utwo tuntu nubwo wakogesha situruwaya, ntabwo utwo tuntu tuboneka mu bumba. Tubikorana ubuhanga, tukabitwika bigashya, ntabwo inkono ziteza kanseri. Kubumba ni umwuga nk'indi myuga. Ubwo rero icyo nabwira urubyiruko rw'iki gihe ni ukwihangira umurimo, bakajya bakora ibihangano. Ubwo nicyo nabagiraho inama. Ikintu nasaba leta n'abashinzwe umucyo ni uko badufasha bakadukorera ihuriro ry'abagore b'ababumbyi i Musanze, noneho tukajya duhurira hamwe tugakora, ku buryo n'urubyiruko rwaza tukarwigisha uwo mwuga wo kubumba.
Thank you for sharing this video with us, Greg. And images are 1,000 words, of course. So it will be very interesting to start the discussion after all the presentations. I'm sure there are a lot of things we can bring on the table. So I will move to our next guest, Theodore, from Beyond the Gorillas Experience. Hi, Theodore, welcome.
Thank you.
You can present briefly again yourself, or we can show the video, whatever you prefer.
Thank you so much. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Theodore is my name. I'm the founder and managing director of Beyond the Gorillas Experience. It's a social enterprise that has seen the potential of our cultural heritage as the best way to promote our cultural heritage, as well as fighting against the poverty among communities who live remotely or closer to preserved areas. This is an initiative that we started in 2010, and it is working well, whereby from one village we are presented in 16 districts of Rwanda, more than half of the country. The community have been engaged, and they are preserving cultural heritage with having money in their pocket and at their banks. Before I go further, I would like to play the video.
Yeah,
then I explain more a little bit beyond the gorillas in the time and space, how we consider people, profit, and the planet. Thank you. To be more brief, I will talk about the name Best Tourism Village. Having got a chance of some good mentors like David Nkusi, the support of Heritage Management Organization, now he is behind us, Heritage Initiative Rwanda, Meron Foundation. After having their very fast support, we got an idea of working on one particular village. The project was documenting and preserving the cultural heritage in Gasura village, the village you are seeing right now. The name Best Tourism Village doesn't come as just naming the village. We get to partner with the Best Tourism Village by UNWTO. Now we are collaborating with the Climate Heritage Network to keep working on that particular project to keep promoting our cultural heritage while engaging the community to own their heritage and culture, as well as interacting with international audience, inbound as well as our country, our 30 districts. Each district has its own heritage, starting from dance. You can enjoy 30 different dances with only the commonest dance in Hore, the warrior dance, the one you see with long hair, shield, spears, bells, something like that. So with us, we want the Gasura-based village to be the model village to satisfy that this beautiful country did not come from any attraction, any support, any special thing than the soul of our culture and heritage. So we are currently operating in the 16th district, as I mentioned earlier, and the project that Heritage Management has supported, we are happy that it's among the model village. The rest of stories, impacts, you can just Google you go on social media, you put beyond the gorillas experience, you see more than we can interact shortly when you have seen what we really do to the community through cultural heritage preservation. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Actually, I would encourage people to visit all these places, not only search them on social media if you haven't done so, because as I told at the beginning, these people doing important work with deep respect for their culture, and this can serve as an example for community engagement and the respect towards cultural heritage for the whole world, if I may say. And I just want to share with you that although I don't meet these people very often, I feel very safe when I am with them or when I talk with them. They are like friends now. Because they also shared with me the vision for heritage, and it is very important because in that way, indeed, heritage connects. So I would like, if there are questions, we can move to the questions for what you have heard. Otherwise, maybe, David, the audience needs to provoke a discussion. No, they can provoke the discussion themselves. I see a hand. Okay, we don't have a microphone yet. Yeah, okay, we are waiting for a microphone. We are waiting for your questions.
Maybe before the microphone is one thing I want to add is that culture and development, as I said earlier when I was doing the training at African Leadership University, culture and development are two uncomfortable neighbors, but they can work together. So what is needed is how do we reconcile the two to live in harmony without harming each other. So we need diplomacy. We need, of course, the conflict. We also have conflicts in heritage management. So there is a way we handle it in a non-violent way. Thank you.
Thank you for the comment. Again, let's see the hands that have a question. Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you for this nice presentation, and I learned a lot. My name is Lorian. I'm an entrepreneur and an educator, and I'm joining this session today because I'm interested to learn more about heritage literacy in general, because this is what I do. I'm really working on different literacies. And my question, it goes to David. David, this sounds like a very wonderful industry coming in. And I think when you were presenting, all of you presenting, I've been seeing a lot of, maybe there's a good, I might say, so many trends will happen, which are going to be very, very benefiting to so many people. So do you plan to work with different sectors which are not about history and heritage? Do you plan to work with other different sectors and domains of life of production? Thank you.
Yes, thank you for your question. Actually, there is what we call heritage governance, not government, but governance. It's something that I want to see it. I want to envision, to have that vision of heritage governance, where we bring different actors. By the way, for your information, heritage, you can practice heritage. It doesn't mean you have to have a background in history or sociology, archaeology. You can practice heritage even if you are a medical doctor. So heritage is a practical subject. Heritage comes in to celebrate our past, to celebrate our culture. So we, as I said, we are establishing Heritage Initiatives Rwanda, and one of the things we would like to do is to come up with a well-coordinated structure with good mapping, so bringing different actors and have what we call a conversation map, how we can communicate through these different actors with different communication channels. As we said, heritage is for us all. We don't need to be, we need to be inclusive, and definitely we are going to work with different domains, different spheres of life, and that is why we are establishing Heritage Initiatives Rwanda, or HIRWA. HIRWA, you know, it's a name, Kinyarwanda name, in short. So this is what we hope to achieve as a Heritage Initiative Rwanda, as a heritage management organization. We will involve definitely, I would like to have many disciplines coming to practice heritage in what we call that kind of heritage governance. So you just need to watch the space, otherwise as I said, we are going to be more practical this time around. When we get this local umbrella organization, we need to act, and we'll have to connect different domains. You don't need to be a historian or a sociologist, but you can be even, as I said, a medical doctor, and you practice heritage. So heritage, many people confuse heritage with history. So history can be heritage, but heritage comes in to celebrate. So heritage is at, I think, the top. History is just part of our heritage, culture, as language. Yeah, so we shall definitely go into other fields. Thank you.
Great, thank you. The next question, please. There is someone, I think it's a university student. Greg, you wanted a question from the student.
Okay, good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Fred Nibizi. Also, I am a graduate student at University of Rwanda in Department of History and Heritage Studies. So there is also the question that we have been asked is about, does the cultural heritage need to be modified? So this was the nice question also to make us to think about it, if the cultural heritage needs to be modified. But we try to discuss with my friend also, because he's my colleague, and we find the answer is that the cultural heritage doesn't need necessary to be modified. It just need to be kept as it is, just to keep its authenticity, just to respect the authenticity of that cultural heritage. But some cultural heritage, like tradition, could be changed, could be modified based on the time. For example, there could be the bad culture, if I'm not mistaken to say, there is a long traditional, like as we know in Rwanda, there is like some abolition traditional in our society. For example, we used to have the traditional that says that when, for the woman, just to promote the human rights, there is a tradition that says when you marry the woman, when she gets married, she gets to sleep with with the father of his husband, for her husband. So, which is not good for the promotion of the human rights. So, but for that question, we can say that the cultural heritage doesn't need to be modified, but could be included like modern technology in sense of preservation, conservation, and also for the promotion. So that's what you can do. Like it could be necessarily the modification of the culture, but could be in the sense of promoting, preserving, and the conservation. Thank you. That's my point of view.
Thank you.
And also, I have the question to ask about. Also as a heritage passionate, I would like to ask, what does those like Beyond Gorillas, those also the heritage organization, what's the effort put to promote the young heritage, passionate, just to involve in that field? Because sometimes we face the problem that after the graduation of our module or our classes, we find ourselves nowhere to go just to start to practice. So I would like to ask the effort that has been put in that activity for promoting the youth. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, okay, Anaklet, you can, but I would like to listen the comments of all of you. Go on, Anaklet. You want to answer?
Yeah, I will answer, but before I answer, I would like to share some comments. I think, as David said, history is not only heritage, but it's part of heritage. And we should be all, we are creators of our history, promoters and protectors. And I think this conference we have now, tomorrow will be history and will be part of heritage. Yeah, so we all create our history. And yes, that question to the public. So I think wherever you are, you have noticed if there is maybe a government event or something event, there's this budget cut. For example, if there is a cultural dance or a performance, one thing, some of the things to ask to do delivered for free, they would focus on art. Would you mind performing a poem for free? But we pay water, we pay food, we pay everything. But maybe cultural's performance, something. There's also this conflict between custodians of heritage and developers, engineers. If you're building something there, there's a road passing somewhere, maybe we don't think of how can we go aside, we protect that heritage, or we keep that building, but we knock it down because we need a clean city. So I think we should all be protectors of our heritage. I don't know what you do, wherever you are. So coming back to the question from the young man from university, National University. So on our side, Ivomo, actually we have, our motto is a sharing culture coming together. Ivomo, people think it's a source of water. No, we think as we share culture, we fetch from each other. I learn from your culture, you learn from my culture. So it's also a learning opportunity. So we do provide like hands-on internship and also mentorship. People can come and they learn from what we do. And also having like a school debate, visit, and the programs to try interest young people to be part of the heritage, because there's also this bad mindset where I think heritage is also for old people or maybe people in the rural areas, but we are all part of the heritage and we have a responsibility to manage our heritage. Thank you.
I propose Greg goes next for the answer, and then Theodore, you will go next.
Thanks very much. You mentioned something about involving the students, the younger generation, the youth. In fact, when I raised the question towards you, that was a part of involving you. So straight away. We have been doing this in terms of localization and with passion. That was number one. And we keep doing it. You went to study, you go to study culture, history, knowing where you are coming from. But it seems like at the end of your education, your academia, you don't look back and see what can you amend. We are not talking about modification. Let's try to use the word amending it. Like the example we are talking about marriage and things like that. It would be great once you are done with your education because you have obtained the academia for something which is already on the ground. But it seems you don't want to go back on the ground because you have stepped in Kigali and you don't want to go back to Nyamasheke, you know, because you know the history. I was there starving, fetching the water on my head and things like that. That's a good experience. If you go back and you write a story about that with your education, I'm 100% sure that this is something that everybody can learn from that. We try always, we know we ignore where we came from. That's one thing, because I say, I'm not going to share the local banana beer with the community because I'm educated. You see, so we are neglecting the history, we are neglecting the heritage, so that's one thing. And if we can take that out of your mind as a youth, I'm 100% that the heritage, the community, the culture is going to stay alive. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for the very, very important question. As the other panelists says, even through their videos, we don't close any opportunity for any cluster. We, as Beyond the Gorillas, we work with the Rwanda TVET board. It's a platform where we host teachers for them to have hands-on experience that can play on even adjusting their curricula in terms of tourism and heritage and the other components that they can change the way of teaching and give typical examples of what they have experienced. Apart from that, we also offer internships for students, and we don't consider whether you did tourism, history, something, as long as you are passionate to preserve our culture heritage with a bigger goal of creating a sustainable opportunity that will change your life for the better, your family, the country, and teach international audience while creating a job for your fellow youth, women, people with disabilities, elders, and many more. We do have another program of public lecturing. Any school that is willing to spread our word of how important to preserve our culture heritage for generation while changing the narrative of what people conceive, understand about our culture, we also go there to spread the word, and we have seen many youth joining the program, and so far they have created their own businesses that falls into cultural heritage tourism. And the policy is very clear. To be more specific, we have a CBT guideline, community-based guideline rules, where you start from the right person who can advise further on how you can work on your idea to be a better you in culture preservation. Thank you so much.
Thank you all. There is also here, okay, here first, the question, yeah. And then
Thank you very much. My name is Isang Gendahima. I'm a student at University of Rwanda, Huye campus. I'm pursuing creative and performing arts. When we analyze the heritage, culture, and the arts, are all those nearby? Because when we analyze the videos and all the things the panelists said, are including on those three words: culture, heritage, and arts. Within, when we talk about art as my option at university, we have to work hard as the artist in order to contribute more within heritage maintenance. When you are in the domain of history, it requires you to write a book or to make a video for making some evidence of culture. Just what I want to ask you, the plan you have as heritage sector and culture with the artist, what you are going to do in working together for making the heritage and the culture in a good way. Because all those things are close, but even in here in Rwanda, in administrative structure are so different because there is a minister of arts, and I heard that there is any other from heritage. How we work together in order to make one line for those three words that are closed or are nearby. Thank you.
Is there anyone who would like to answer regarding the connection of heritage with arts? How maybe you do it through your projects? How do you incorporate the arts? How do you support arts?
Yes, can I say something?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Yes, the creative economy or the creative industry. We have the government has set policies, and we have also legal frameworks. But what is missing now is the coordination. How are these policies informed from the bottom? Because what the best of my knowledge is that most of the policies that we have in Africa, our legal frameworks, has posed challenges to heritage management because they are central, they use the top-down approach. They are centralized. We don't know what is made up of these policies because they are made at the top and they remain at the top. So what we are doing, what we want to do is to come up with a bottom-up approach to heritage management. And with that, we shall be well informed and we shall have that coordination that is informed from the bottom. Definitely, we need that structure. We need to see how the university, the place of university in heritage management, which has been ignored for quite some time. And I think the connection, of course, arts is one thing I want to tell you is that heritage is not all about tangible things. With the creative industry, you have a lot, immense opportunity in intangible heritage. So you need to explore the intangible part of our heritage, which is really very important and vital to sustainability. So we need to explore all those opportunities, but what we need is that structure that can coordinate all this, and we are trying to do it with, we are coming up with Hirwa, and I think we shall do our best to see that no one is left behind. Someone who is active. In heritage management or in community engagement, there are 4 things. 1, you have to be active in order to be engaged, because you can't engage someone who is not active. You can't empower someone who is not engaged, and you can't mentor someone who is not empowered. So you start being active, you be engaged, you be empowered and mentored. And also, one thing that people forget is that the basic of heritage is, I can say, the heritage cycle. 1, you need to understand. 2, you value. So the more you understand, the more you value your heritage. The more you value, the more you care about your heritage. The more you care about your heritage, the more you enjoy. The more you enjoy, the more you understand. So it's a cycle. So most people want to enjoy before they understand. And that is a problem. So we need to go into that cycle. We need to interpret our heritage so that we understand it, to understand it better. So we shall do our best. As I said, personally, I'm passionate about heritage. There's nothing that keeps me busy like heritage. With other colleagues, with our members, we are going to see how we can have that structure that can coordinate all these, that can coordinate the actors in the heritage sector. And I believe in 2 years from now, we shall be telling this story again in a very practical way. Thank you.
True. Thank you. I think we have time for like one question. Okay, maybe two if it's short. I see a lot of questions here. Unfortunately, we don't have so much time. Let's go to the lady first and then in the front.
Hi, thank you so much. My name is Faye Kagwa. I currently live in Cape Town, and I've really enjoyed this panel. I think I have maybe a response from the panel in general around the question of heritage and like an economy. So I really enjoyed what you just said about enjoyment versus understanding. And so I think what I'm trying to ascertain from the panel is what the value of heritage is and what is the impulse for preservation. Because I do think that sometimes in like the tourism industry, what we are stressing is more of an enjoyment or a capitalistic venture. So in some ways, a farce of what culture is rather than preserving the culture itself. So I would just like to understand from the panel their view of how culture and economy and preservation can coexist ethically. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone from the panel? David will do that.
Yes, yes. Actually, you're talking about value, and in heritage management, we manage values and protect the physical, maybe attributes, and the values change over time. In Africa, we are trying to see how we are trying to decolonize heritage management and see how heritage is not just for conservation, but also we are trying to see how heritage can be seen as an economic resource in Africa. We have been having challenges of having these, some of our sites being inscribed on World Heritage List. I remember when we were preparing documents for Nyungwe National Park, we submitted and it was given, it was not accepted because of that road that crosses between in Nyungwe. So they wanted it to be, to be destroyed. So we said that road has an economic impact to Rwandans. It connects Kigali city to the border. Yeah, we can look for alternative roads and reduce the traffic in Nyungwe National Park. So we are not seeing heritage as just preserving maybe dead objects in our museums, but we want to see heritage as an economic resource. That's why we are engaging communities. We are coming up with community projects that can really impact, can have impact to the communities, the benefits, social, economic, and even political benefits to our communities. Thank you.
Anna Claire, you want to add something?
Yeah, I think heritage has started to become a source of economy. Speaking about community-based tourism, what we sell is heritage. But the big thing, the key thing is conservation, because what we sold today would be sold tomorrow. That's why we do conservation. Conservation is a key to really keep up saying that. So people come do maybe traditional ways of making tea. They do come for basket weaving. They do come for trails, hiking trails, but visiting historical sites, which we have to manage, to conserve, to preserve, and promote. So I think it's also linking. So, but economy, yes, but conservation is. That's why even coming back to national parks. So the policy of Rwanda is high-end tourism, because the money we can get from a few people better for conservation, because where 100 feet has stepped is not the same where 10 feet have stepped. So also quickly talking to the question of the guy who was asking about linking the three things. So when you spoken about art, I was wondering what kind of art you are mentioning, because art now, you should be happy because art is applying to everything. Art of speaking, art of cooking, art of behaving. Art. So actually, so we are blessed because art is also, you will even hear that people saying, what is your team culture in your organization? You think that culture, we are all envelopes of our culture, envelopes of our environment. So culture, art, they're very important. They are linked to whatever we do in our business, in our businesses. So when someone comes and then storytelling, it's art. You can do basket, you can do performance. It's art. So in our business, there's that linkage of heritage, culture, and art. So yeah, the community daily life is all about culture. So it's also something we have to do. And as he said, you need to look for opportunity. There's policy, there are policies, and also a board to protect what we do, like intellectual property, there's that in RDB. Also protect what you do for benefit. Thank you.
Thank you. It is very encouraging that the discussion has raised many questions, and I encourage you to interact with us and interact with the panelists during the break. As the time is limited, I think, you should ask your questions directly. Unfortunately, the time is over. And maybe next time you could call again these people for a longer session, hopefully. So I would like to thank all of you very much. A lot of things could be discussed with you, like heritage, inclusivity, and many other things as you work with the communities. So again, I would like to thank you. You have a lot to learn from these people, so just have a try to interact with them or visit to see their projects in person. And thank you once again for joining us, for reflecting with us, and see you around in the next sessions.
Thank you. Can the panelists just stand together for a quick photo? Thank you. Thank you very much. Please put your hands together for the panel. Thank you, Erin. This applause is not loud enough now. Are we cold? No, we are not. It's summer. Are we hungry? Are you sure? Do you want a tea break? Yeah. Okay. There are snacks and some drinks at the back, and we'll just, stretch our legs a little bit. And we'll come back in 5 minutes. And then, do you want to dance with Jihad? No? Who said no? Are you sure? Okay, let the DJ play some music while we stretch our legs, okay? All right, 5 minutes break, everyone, before we are back for the next session.
alright. Hey, I know I'm blessed. This is my era. There's no time to waste. Who's gonna fight for my dream every day? There's a cloud on my heart today. He said, peace is on the way. Then I said, but it won't let the light escape. He said, hope is on the way. So I said, I don't know how to win the war. He said,
day, we all aspire to have the same things. We all want to feel loved. We all want to feel safe. We all want to feel connection. We all want to laugh and dance. So I think that's what it's about for me.
Thank you, Maya. Thank you. Give her a round of applause. See, we've got brilliant people here. Thank you so much, everyone. Give yourselves a round of applause. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get on with the program. So, just one more announcement. If you need to use the washroom, there's a door right behind the screen. So you're just going to go back there and walk behind the stage, and there's a door, and that leads to the washroom. Or you can ask any of the team members at the back, and they will direct you. We are also available on all your social media platforms, so give us a shout out. If you're taking pictures, you're taking selfies, make sure you tag us at Ubumuntu Arts Festival, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, everywhere, okay? And the hashtag is Ubumuntu 2025. Thank you so much. Okay, next up, we have a keynote address. The theme is Cultural Diplomacy, Shaping a Shared Future Through Art, and it's going to be delivered by Assumpta Mugiraneza. I hope I got that right. The director of Iriba Center of Multimedia Heritage. Please give a round of applause for Assumpta. Thank you.
Mwiriwe neza. Hello. Bonjour. Habari. Mambo. Okay. Let's try. I'm embarrassed when I have to talk before young people in Rwanda because I'm an old woman and my language is Kinyarwanda. Could I use Kinyarwanda? Heritage in Kinyarwanda, is it possible? Maybe in French because I started in French and my work is in French. How could we deal with this problem about language? Abato bo mu Rwanda. Who speaks Kinyarwanda? Please. Dumukecuru simbabona neza. Okay. Who speaks French? I'm Rwandan native. My Swahili is from Bujogo. And for me, language is very important. If you had to deal with our heritage, and when I use our, I'm not sure if I speak about women, humanity, Africa, Rwandans, and it's the way where I will try to make my small presentation. For me, when I have to think about Rwanda, it's very difficult to think about Rwandan heritage without speaking Kinyarwanda. But we have also colonial history. When we speak Kinyarwanda, we are not intelligent. We are supposed to be not intelligent. N'ururimi rw'abashenzi. Yes. And when you speak French, before you felt somehow very proud. Je suis très intelligent parce que je sais parler en français en mettant les R et les L et surtout en mettant les on et les A. Hey. But when you use Kinyarwanda and you say, amakosa yo mu Kinyarwanda ni menshi. I don't know now. Ukavuga uti, ukavuga ati, ndavuga uti. Ndavuga uti. Ndavuga uti is it's a no sense. But it's not a problem when we speak bad Kinyarwanda because we are still colonized, because we never make connection between intelligence, academic, with our cultural heritage, which is in Kinyarwanda. I'm not so diplomatic, but I'm an old woman. I speak to men, not many, but youth in Rwanda and in Africa and from everywhere. But I have to you know, I can't find who can translate my if I speak in Kinyarwanda or in French. In French, je voudrais souligner justement ce paradoxe. Where is it somewhere? No, okay, I would like to be clear with this challenge because if we never interrogate Kinyarwanda, we'll have problem to access to our cultural heritage. Because in Rwanda, you can saw everywhere. We don't have anything else out of language. If you can't interrogate language in Kinyarwanda, you will lost, yes, many things about Rwanda. What is Iriba Center for Multimedia, where I am? It's a very small organization. At Iriba Center, Iriba means the source, cultural heritage, because we work on archives, but not only for collecting archives, especially for try to educate young people especially about our past, because our past is very ravagé, devastated, and trying to go to our past ask for us the effort to go beyond the genocide, beyond 30 years ago, even beyond colonization, and it's not easy. Iriba Center for Multimedia Heritage is not very important because I see when we started to work on the archives was not very important in our discussions, documentation sometimes. Heritage was not very present in our discussions. Today, everywhere you can find heritage. Every day, umurage ou umuco. D'ailleurs, I would like to ask from Rwandan, what's the meaning of heritage for you? Mu Kinyarwanda wabivuga ute, Aimable? And umuco? And cultural heritage is? Waindanga. Just for thinking about it. It's not, I'm not your teacher, but we need to think about it. And I'm so happy to see that people try to make many initiatives about heritage. But we have to be aware that sometimes we use concept without thinking about our context. If you live in Rwanda, if you are Rwandan, if you are young, you will need many things before delivering something from heritage. Because our history is not easy. Our history was oral. As our language, orality, and indigene, langues indigene, it was something what we considered that like not interesting. Ni biturage, ni barbarians. And I'm here for inviting you to think about who am I, how urakiri. Eko mutamubwiye ngo arakire. Mu Kinyarwanda kirazira iyo umuntu yitsamuye twese turavuga ngo arakire. Nawe akatubwira ngo twese. For speaking about heritage, we need to see who we are, how do we deal with others, and where I'm from, my identities, not identity, because we have many identities. And after this, we can try to create a new way for speaking about heritage. When you deal with this question in Rwanda, you will need history, of course. You will need sometimes sociology. You will need political history, very important. Not for becoming a politician, but try to think about your city, your country. It's so difficult to think about your city if you don't have any reference, any historical reference. And you will need the source of your creation. You can't create from nothing, especially when you are in the country like Rwanda. I can't explain it because we don't have time, and my English is not sufficient enough for speaking about the theory critique. I don't know if someone know who is Theodore Adorno. No? No problem. Let's try to talk in the same level, because when you are from Rwanda and you need not only, when you need create something about Rwanda, you will need to be conscient of the difficult to speak about past, because our past is not easy, because our past is very complicated, and my generation is not able to talk about our lives to our children. Why I speak to you like that? Because I'm from the generation of your parents, for many people here. Ngana na ba mama banyu, ngana na babyeyi banyu. C'est ma génération, it's my generation. And I know we are not able to talk about our past when we are at home. It's not easy. In the same time, we ask to you to be very brave and dealing with the future. How is it possible? And it's why in 2012, I created a program, Negotiate a Shared Future, Négocier un futur partagé, where many people pass through. And I would like to invite you to see a small video about this program, when people try to find their identities, the relations with parents, but also thinking about how could we deal with the past for thinking to our future. Abo ku buhanga bw'ibyuma murahari? Yes, it's a small video, 10 minutes, and people try, we are in our workshops for months, and we mixed people, and you will see when you ask two people to think about njyewe, mubandi, n'abandi. Me, I don't know, la suite in English, and your origins, because we don't have one origin. Origins, identities. If you are able to deal with, you will be able to deal with everything. But you will need you, yourself, you in your family, you in your country, you in your epoch, as we say in French. After this, you will be able to deal with everything. Please, is it possible to have a video? It's in Kinyarwanda with English subtitle.
Yes.
Suko umuntu abagaye ko hari ibyo mutari mwamenya ahubwo muramize muri urubyiruko rw'u Rwanda muri urubyiruko rw'iyi region tubamo kuko dutangira kumenyana muzasanga bamwe muri twe ari urubyiruko rw'u Rwanda ariko afite umuzumwe muri Kongo undi awufite wenda i Burundi awufite icyangugu akawufite no mu Mutara ahantu hose uko nta mudigwa n'ikintu kimwe gusa bivuga ngo uzava hano ufite abandi bantu washamikiyeho kuko ubuzima budafite amashami ubuzima budafite imizi ubuzima budafite ikindi bugenda gushamikiraho ntabwo ari ubuzima ntabwo wabyiruka neza uramutse wigunze nta n'umuntu wigira nta n'umuntu uba mu gihugu gusa cyane cyane mu bihe turimo isi yarafungutse isi iragukeneye nawe urayikeneye turifuza kugira icyo muduha kuko mufite ubwenge twe tudafite imbere arandeba aribaza ati ntabwo ubwenge ari speaking English ntabwo ubwenge ari parler le français ntabwo ubwenge ari ukumenya geography gusa ntabwo ubwenge ari ukumenya computer science ntabwo ubwenge ari ubwenge n'ikintu Imana yabanjira twihera buri muntu nk'uko mungana gutya uwabayobya n'uwakubwira ngo ufite diplome bavuga ngo ntayo ngo turashaka abanyabwenge twese dufite ubwenge uko twicaye hano kubera ko dufite uko twabayeho
mama ni umunyarwanda n'umunyarwandakazi we afite na famiye Burundi igituma mvuga ko ntazi iwacu Gatema cyangwa aho mvuka ni uko papa asa nkaho yirengagiza iwabo bityo iyo mwicaye tukaganira mumaze papa iwanyu gutera ambwira ibintu biri vage amazi se kubera ko wavuyeyo uheruka kujyayo ryari cyakora yambwiye ko aheruka kujyayo mukuru wanjye ufite imyaka 34 afite imyaka 2 urumva nkurikije n'ibyo agenda ambwira biba biri vage mpita numva nanjye nta mpamvu yo kubikurikirana so ubwo nkahita nishyira mu mutwe wanjye ko aho umuntu abaye ari iwabo nabaye i Burundi imyaka 5 kugira na senateri y'u Burundi ndi mu Rwanda iyo mbaje mvuga ko ndi umunyarwandakazi nagera muri Kongo ngiye no gutembera ndi umukongomani urumva ibyo ngibyo bintu so iyi plan yankozeho cyane ndumva ari ibintu nkwiye gukurikirana ko impano sinzi imba zifite ariko nshobora kuba nanazifite ko nkabisuzugura none biturutse kuri ibi kuko ndicaye ngavuga se ni tuvugane nimba ndirimba zita umuririmbyi wa hehe cyangwa wenda nimba ikintu nashobora biga sinzi hari byinshi cyane ese nzabikora nitwa uwa hehe kuko naricaraga nkavuga ngo narangije kwiga segonderi niga universite bitandukanye nkabona nk'akazi ahandi hantu atari mu Rwanda atari mu Burundi atari hehe ubwaho nzajya nzika uwabo kuko ntabwo ngira umusobanurira ngo wowe uri gutya urahangaha nyine niha principe zanjye nyine nishyiramo yuko iwacu naho ndi aho njya naryama nkakora zanjye iwacu
mu bandi n'abandi byankoze impamvu byankozeho rero ni iki mu bandi hari ubuzima umuntu ashobora kuba yarabayemo akumva wenda arisuzuguye akumva arigaye cyangwa afite isura mbi akumva ntazi uburyo ki azaba ari mu bandi njye nicyo byafashije ariko aricyo mbivugaho njyewe mu bandi sinzi ukuntu nabisobanura cyane kuko birandenga kuko mfite imyaka 33 ariko nabayeho mu buzima wenda bashoboraga kunca intege bati ufite isura mbi uri mugufi umeze ute uvuka mu miryango yo hasi ariko ndashima cyane Imana ko njyewe mu bandi n'abandi numva mfite igikundiro birandenga kuko ingero nyinshi njya mfatira aha
ariko harimo rumwe rwanteye kumva nanahaguruka mama wanjye apfa ninjye twari kumwe yapfukiye na gatandatu intambara irangiye ariko mu bo tuvukana ni njye wagaragaraga nkaho ndi mubi ndabara kwisura ko umutima bwo ndi claire ku buryo mama yari yaranyisenya mubi wera ibikanza ni igitaziro yajyaga akunda kumbwira iyo nabaga ndi kumwe nawe kenshi kandi nanjye numvaga ntafite mama ntashobora kubaho neza mama rero yanyitaga nyamubi wera ibikanza yakundaga rero kubindirimbira ku buryo niyo ndirimbo ntishobora kumvamo ariko ajya gupfa ari ijambo yarambwiye ngo wowe muri bene nyoko ni wowe uzakundwa kubahebuza ni wowe uzabaho mu ntera iri hejuru ndabishima Imana.
ese sosiyete tubamo cyangwa se mbamo nyitwaramo ne nyimara kumenya uwo ndiwe cyangwa se kumenya jewe mu bandi
nabaga ndi mu cyumba cyanjye ndi mu mwijima ndi mu turirimbo twanjye wenda tubabaje cyangwa dushimishije ngeze hano rero kubera inyigisho zaho byatumye mva muri icyo cyumba cyanjye ndasohoka ahangaha nashyize mu muryango bwerekana ko ni nk'urumuri nyine ni nk'urumuri nakuyemo hano njya hanze ubu ngubu mbasha guparticipa ntabwo najyaga mparticipa no mu bintu ibyo ari byo byose none ubu ngubu nyine dore n'ahangaha ndahari mba numva nishimye.
bya bindi mama yagusezeranyije avuga ati ni wowe waje kubibona nyuma mu buzima
naje kubibona kuko mpora numva umutima wanjye utuje mpora numva nezerewe kandi koko mbana n'abantu bari hejuru nta mashuri mfite nize cyane ariko mpora mu ndege iteka mba ndi i Burayi cya gikundiro yandaze
C'est vraiment un plaisir pour moi d'être ici, parmi vous, et de voir quelques-uns des résultats de ce projet qu'on a mené ensemble, IRIBA, et nous, c'est le Service civil pour la paix de la GIZ. Ce sont des résultats vraiment impressionnants, et on ne peut même pas vraiment parler des résultats. Quand on parle des résultats, c'est assez technique. Mais ce qu'on a vu ici, ça dépasse vraiment la technique, ça dépasse des résultats. Vous êtes entrés vraiment dans un espace et dans plusieurs espaces d'une richesse immense. Ce qu'on a vu ici, ça a été vraiment beaucoup plus qu'on a attendu.
Thank you for your attention. talking about cultural diplomacy, international diplomacy, everything, start with us here and around us. Of course, we need international conferences, and I make it. Every year we have an international conference, but we need also to work with you young people from Rwanda, with you young people from outside who come to Rwanda to study and try to make some artistic creation. So when you have to work on artistic way, it's not something that you try when you are not good in school. Many times, being an artist means you are not able to work in your classroom, isn't it? We need art, because after the situation as like we experienced 31 years ago, thinking ordinary, speaking ordinary is not easy. The good way is the way research and art, because I have to make a small advocacy for research. We need research, not only outside of Rwanda. We need research in Rwanda and in Kinyarwanda. We need to interrogate our narratives. I would like to use to make a difference between récit and narrative. Who can help me? What is the difference between récit and narrative? In English, I know it will be narratives. It's some, hey, in Kinyarwanda, we will have more level about this concept. It's why we need, I'm not an ambassador of Kinyarwanda, but without Kinyarwanda, even for you foreigners, if you can't explore Kinyarwanda, you will lose something very important. I could add Christian thing. And be sure also that when you work with Kinyarwanda and you have your language, your foreign language, you will be able to publishing, because it's possible. I experienced it. Many times I work with songs in politics, in psychosocial domain, and it's possible to be published in many magazines, academic magazines. You can publish a book from Rwanda. Rwanda is not just a small country when we need only the things from outside. Heritage is also roots, and we need to rediscover our roots. Never think separately. The philosophy, Rwandan philosophy is holistic. You will need interdisciplinarity, interculturality, but also you will need to be holistic. Don't try to put in box here mathematics, here chemistry, there art, especially if it's Rwandan traditional things. No. It's not, when we talk, we say mathematics, chemistry, computer science, and something. Bya bintu by'ibinyarwanda, bya bindi bya traditionnel. We can't act like that. And yes, he understood what I say. Let me say something in Kinyarwanda. Turisuzugura. Abantu biga ngo sciences, barangiza danse traditionnelle, akaba ari ibintu bisuzuguritse. Waririmba mu Kinyarwanda ngo ukagira ngo bakakwita sadiho. When we are in, I was in Brussels airport, there is 2 weeks. You have many countries. From Spanish, you have Bilbao, Barcelona, Madrid. You have a gate for your boarding pass. You have France, Lyon, Marseille, Strasbourg. And plus loin, you will find Africa. Every country from Africa are somewhere there. Every country, Rwanda, Kinshasa, Gabon, everywhere. Why? Why Africa is something without any specificity? Why? They can do this, but we need here in Rwanda. It's okay. It's okay. I finish. I'm finishing. Please never use heritage if you are not ready to deal with your country, with the root of this country. It's very important. And sorry for my English, but I thank you so much. Goodbye.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Azomta. Please give her a round of applause. That was a beautiful presentation. Thank you so much. Mercy. All right, so I'll be speaking to you from here. Don't bother to look for me on the stage. Just look behind you. I'm right here. I just want to announce that very soon we'll be going for a lunch, for our lunch break. But before then, we do have a panel. It's a plenary session, and the focus is Dare to Dream with Art, Building Trust Among Communities and Nations. And this is moderated by Dr. Charles Kiza from the University of Rwanda. Please give a round of applause for Dr. Charles. And he will be introducing his panelists. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam MC. Can you hear me? Okay. Thank you very much, and thank you very much to the organizers for having chosen me to moderate this session entitled the Dare to Dream with Art, Building Trust Among Communities and Nations. I think it's not good morning. It's good afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor to welcome you to this inspiring session, Dare to Dream with Art, Building Trust Among Communities and Nations. In a world marked by growing divides, historical wounds, and an urgent quest for understanding and belonging, we gather to explore a vital question: can art and the power of imagination rekindle our ability to see one another with fresh eyes? Can creativity become the common language that transcends borders where diplomacy alone struggles? Today, we are privileged to convene visionary leaders from the realms of fashion, media, and cultural diplomacy. Together, we will delve into the transformative role of artistic expression in fostering trust, empathy, and peaceful coexistence. Through vibrant cultural initiatives, personal stories, and strategic frameworks, this session will illuminate how dreaming boldly and creating collectively can mend divides and nurture new connections between communities and nations alike. Let us embark on this journey with open hearts and curious minds, ready to imagine the possibilities that art can unlock for global harmony. Ladies and gentlemen, permit me to introduce to you our dear panelists. We have one of our panelists who is coming first. He's from the US, and it's called James Dana Adams. He's an advisor, global cooperation and business diplomacy, NATO support, and procurement agency. He's not with us here. He's going to be speaking through online system. With over 2 decades, James Dana, with over 2 decades of experience in international development and multilateral diplomacy, James Dana Adams supports strategic partnerships and cultural diplomacy programs that promote peace, security, and sustainable development. At NATO Support and Procurement Agency, he facilitates dialogue between member states and partner countries through institutional exchange and cultural engagement. Ladies and gentlemen, can we listen to James Dana? He's going to speak to this session entitled Dare to Dream with Art, Building Trust Among Communities and Nations. The floor is yours, James. Maybe before you speak, can I invite our panelists, please, here to come and sit with me here? Sorry for that. Can I call Barbara, Samuel, can I call Barbara, Samuel, and Elodie, please? Okay, James, the floor is yours, please. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I can't, they can't hear me.
Yes, now we can hear you.
Okay. Okay. Can you see me?
Yes.
Okay. First of all, that was quite an introduction, and I want to thank you for that. I would like to tell you just briefly a little bit about myself. I'm 73 years old, And that isn't relevant, but as you get older, things go wrong. And two things have gone wrong with me recently. One of them is I have a return of asthma, and another thing is that I have laryngitis. So I suppose I would have excuses why not to speak to you today because I'm not feeling 100%. Well, I wouldn't miss this ever. And I would do this from my deathbed if I had to. It is so important to speak to you today. I'm speaking to you from Virginia, about, goodness gracious, 40 kilometers to the west of Washington, D.C. And the focus of what I want to talk about, I'm not an artist, but I do want to talk to you about experiences with the issue of trust, how we define it, how we get there, and let's see where that takes us. So I suppose that my first question to you really is, do you trust me? And if you're trusting me, what are you trusting me for? What are you trusting me for? So let's start with the definition. Let's just start with the definition of trust. Trust is the belief that someone or something can be relied upon to do what they say they will. It is a key element of social relationships and a foundation for cooperation. Trust is critical for romantic relationships, friendships, interactions between strangers, countries, social groups on a large scale. And we have to understand that a lack of trust in such scenarios can come with serious consequences. Indeed, I think it goes without saying that society as a whole would fail as a function of the absence of trust. And I think the absence of trust can lead to such terrible things as war. So let me talk a little bit about why trust matters. The sense that one can depend on another person lays the groundwork for social exchanges yielding benefits like affection, a sense of security, and achievements that would be impossible alone. When trust is absent or someone betrays the trust that has been invested in them, the possibility of a successful future relationship does what? It diminishes. Why does trust matter in relationships? Trust is the cornerstone of any social relationship. People who trust each other can work together more effectively at home, at work, or elsewhere. They're also more willing to share intimate information, which can reduce the risk of anxiety and depression and build a stronger sense of self. This is an interesting thing. Trust involves a degree of vulnerability. In trusting that someone will follow through with a promise to help with a project, one risks the possibility that the colleague will renege at the last minute. Trusting a romantic partner to remain faithful opens a person up to the risk of crushing betrayal. So how do we know? How do we know who we can trust? It could be useful to consider specific characteristics when deciding whether, how much, and what ways to trust another person. Judging someone's intentions can be helpful, but intentions as well as confidence can be misleading. What qualities make a person trustworthy? Trustworthy people have several key traits. The most obvious is their, and this is important, their follow-through. It's not only what they say, but if they do what they say. You have words and then you have action. And when you have the two of them coming together, that builds trust. Okay, enough about the definitions. Once again, are you trusting me? What are you trusting me for? In the realm of cross-cultural collaboration, trust serves as a bedrock for successful managerial positions and effective collaboration. It functions as a catalyst for improved outcomes and heightened productivity. The cultivation of trust necessitates leaders to adopt a mindset characterized by curiosity, respect, and a genuine desire to comprehend and learn from diverse cultures. Familiarizing oneself with colleagues' backgrounds, encompassing cultural norms and values, proves indispensable in fostering trust and averting misunderstandings and conflicts. So, moreover, what is trust fortified by? Number one, very important concept, the presence of integrity. As I said earlier, consistency between words and actions, the ability to deliver on commitments. So let's do a few takeaways from what I have said. Number one, trust enables effective collaboration regardless of cultural differences. Having the right mindset is crucial for building trust across cultures. Understanding colleagues' backgrounds is important to building trust. Results in character play a significant role in building trust across culture. We're going to talk a little bit about the power of trust in cross-cultural collaboration. The power of trust in cross-cultural collaboration lies, number one, in its ability to enable effective communication. Number two, promote understanding. Number three, foster strong relationships, ultimately leading to better outcomes and increased productivity. So trust plays a critical role in overcoming cultural barriers in trust building. When individuals trust each other, they're more likely to share their thoughts and ideas openly, leading to improved communication and collaboration. Trust also helps in promoting understanding between individuals from different cultures, as it encourages empathy, respect, and appreciation for cultural differences. Moreover, trust fosters strong relationships, creating a sense of belonging and teamwork among team members. A little bit about developing the right mindset for trust building. Developing a positive and open mindset is crucial, absolutely crucial, for fostering trust when working across different cultural backgrounds. I'm going to talk about a subject in the context of trust, which is a favorite subject of mine. And when you learn about these concepts, it will actually help you interpret what's happening and is a trust building thing. And I'm going to overly simplify the discussion based upon my time. And I also have to share with you, years ago, my next door neighbor in Virginia was a woman from Russia who had defected to the United States and taught cross-cultural relations. For example, she might help an American company build a automotive factory in Nigeria. Well, to succeed in that, you have to understand Nigeria, you have to understand their culture, you have to understand many things about them, and you have to learn the pitfalls of communication. And one of the things that she taught me, and it was kind of life-changing, that when we are talking to someone from another country, we need to understand whether they come from a high context or a low context society. And I will define those things for you, and then I will give you a pretend example of a conversation with my next door neighbor from Russia. High context communication relies heavily on nonverbal cues, context. Very important word here, context, and the relationship between the communicators. It is often found in cultures where people are closely connected, such as in many Asian and Middle Eastern economies. For example, Japan or Saudi Arabia. A low context communication emphasizes direct, explicit verbal messages. It is common in cultures that value individualism and clarity, such as in the United States, the United Kingdom, and many Northern Western European countries. In high context cultures, much of the conversation is implicit, and understanding relies on shared experiences and background knowledge. Low context cultures, communication is more straightforward, with less reliance on situational context and nonverbal signals. So I just can't, I cannot stress enough the importance of this. So what I'm going to do is give you an example, talking to my neighbor from Russia, comes from a high context society. So I call her and I said, "Hello, Natasha. How are you?" Natasha says, "Hello, sweetie. How are you?" I said, "I'm doing just great. So how's work been?" Natasha replies, "It's been quite fine, thank you so much." And I said, well, good. I'm really glad to hear that. I certainly think you have an interesting company. Natasha, did you know that I'm going on safari for 2 weeks in another week? And I don't want to be a nuisance to you or any kind of problem, and you can certainly say no, but could you please feed my cat twice a day, Jacob? She said, "Of course." That's a high context conversation. We're noticing a back and forth, some personal relations, some interest in one another. And then we finally get to the ultimate question, which is about the feeding of the cat. Now here's a low context conversation. I pick up the phone and say, "Hello, Sasha, hi, how are you doing? I want to know, in the next week, can you feed my cat for 2 weeks?" How different those conversations are. How, if you do not understand what's happening here, there can be distrust. There can be a problem. And so when I'm dealing with someone, I try to keep in mind things such as that. Let's see. I want to talk a little bit about open and transparent communication for trust. Open and transparent communication plays a crucial role in fostering an environment of trust and facilitating effective cross-cultural engagement. I just came back from 2 weeks in Kenya on safari, and I cannot tell you how nice the people are. They really were. But here was the thing that I learned. Just by learning a few words in the language, such as Jambo Jambo, Asante, Karibu, Hakuna Matata, Sawa. These are not difficult words to learn. It takes a little bit of effort. And I cannot tell you the smiles and the way doors open for me just by making a simple gesture of being interested or attempting to speak in a foreign language. It's important to promote cross-cultural cooperation and learning. We need to appreciate and embrace cultural differences and then try to actually enjoy them. As the French say, vive la différence. Let's enjoy our differences. We need to invest in diversity and inclusion training programs. It's all very important. So what I'd like to do is I would like to end with, with two war stories. And back in the 1990s, I worked for the NATO Maintenance and Supply Agency. I was a contracting officer, and I did things like maintain through contract the Patriot missile. And the company that I dealt with vis-a-vis the Patriot missile was a company called Raytheon, a very, very large, powerful defense contractor, and a company I frankly was a little bit afraid of. As a contracting officer, one of the rules was never, ever take a gift from a company. Do not receive a meal. If you are going to receive a gift, it cannot be in value more than $10. Do not socialize with the company. Stay away from them and remain a professional, arm's length distance from them, which I did. But I had a boss from Germany named Rainer Hermann. And one day he said, you know, Raytheon is coming to town. We should go out and have dinner and drinks with them. I said, absolutely not. I cannot do such a thing. It is absolutely unethical. It's against my government. It's against my rules. He said, why are you so fussy? What's wrong with you? We can go out to dinner with Raytheon. Raytheon can pick up their tab. We can pick up ours. And by the way, I'll pay for all the alcohol. So I did what I didn't want to do. I had dinner with Raytheon. And guess what happened, people? I liked them. We were better at negotiating with each other, and our relationship improved. The other story I'd like to tell is about an event that the United States and the world will never forget, and that is 9/11. I mean, the idea that from Afghanistan, that someone can come up with an idea to crash airplanes into government buildings, into the World Trade Center, the Pentagon, and other government buildings. It's something out of a Tom Clancy book. It's something you would think is fictional, it was made up. It actually happened. And in a perverse way, it was brilliant, very, very evil, terrorizing. But boy, what a mind existed to create that thing. So 3 years after 9/11, what happened to me? I got sent to Afghanistan to solve a problem. I'm like, oh boy, I don't want to go to Afghanistan. They're all terrorists over there. So I got there, and I saw every Afghani as someone who was going to cut my throat, pilot my plane, and fly into a building. Needless to say, do you think there was a lot of trust there? No, there was not. But what happened? I learned a few words, and I smiled at people, I talked to them. I even got a haircut from an Afghan barber. I survived it, he didn't kill me. And because of a knowledge of French, the French kind of adopted me. The Foreign Legion, they would take me out to villages. I would sit and drink tea with people and hang out with them. A little scared. I had tea I sat on the floor of someone's house with crossed legs, had tea and talked. I was slow to trust, but over time, I had a conclusion that the people of Afghanistan or Iran or North Korea, they're not demons. They all want the same thing that I want. They want clean water. They want a roof over their head. They want safety, healthcare, friendship, and love. Yes, as human beings, we like to define our differences. We're not different, really. We are all the same. Thank you for your time.
Thanks very much, James.
Thank
Dana.
you.
Thank you, thank you. Can I ask the audience, please, to put your hands together and appreciate him greatly?
I applaud you.
Thank you, thank you. I think if I were one of the organizing team, or I would have asked you to go for lunch first and then we come back, because this is very important, I promise you. So, because I'm not in that position, I'm going to ask you really to give us your attention as much as you can. I know some of you are hungry, but be a little bit patient. We're going to be very brief, and then we engage you guys there, and then, yeah, we finish. Okay. And it's one of our panelists, Samuel, has left because he's got another serious engagement. He's going to be speaking online here at Serena, and bear with us. But the ladies, I believe, they are going to make a great difference, and I believe you are not going to, you are going to benefit greatly. Thank you. Okay, we are going to do, let me call them sub sessions, 4, and with 4 themes. Very brief, I will ask our panelists, our distinguished panelists, to be brief so that we can hear from you guys, share your insights, and you ask them questions. Okay, the first sub-theme is entitled Art as a Language of Trust. And the theme is how artistic expression fosters trust and mutual understanding among communities and nations. To begin, I invite you to share, right, sorry for this. Okay, I invite you to share, ladies, how does your creative or professional practice foster trust among communities or between nations? Allow me, I'd forgotten some, because of time, pressure here. I had forgotten to make just a brief summary, just in 1 minute. A summary of what James Dana said. He talked about trust, and he said trust is the cornerstone of any social relationship. Consistency between words and actions build trust, and then trust improves communication and collaboration. Thank you once again, James, if you are still there. Okay, having said that, I'm going to begin with you, Barbara. How has your work in translation and media contributed to trust building across cultural or generational divides? Can I come again?
No, I had it.
Okay, right.
Thank you so much, moderator. It's a privilege to be here and to get to speak to different artists from different walks of life. Yes, my work, I've been an interpreter slash translator for more than 15 years. The last 15, almost 18, I think 15, between 15 and 18 years. That's when I started doing interpretation, and I've been doing that for that amount of years, and I've been in the media space for the last 10 years. So I'll try to speak on how interpretation bridges communities. I have found myself in different spaces, rooms, where people have a need to connect, a need to communicate, and the interpreter comes in to connect the communities, to connect the content between one person to another, or one group of people to another. But what I've learned is that with the need, everyone has this need to connect, everyone has this need to communicate, and when we employ our gifts, I consider interpretation as a gift, an artistic gift, you manage to bring together people from different walks of life. And I'll give one particular story, since I'm a storyteller. So a few years back, we had Chogam in Kigali, and I was tasked to interpret for the king, King Charles. So he had come to visit a village, a reconciliation village in Bugesera. And this reconciliation village is it's a special village where you have one perpetrator, a family with the perpetrator of the genocide against the Tutsi, living next door to a family with a surviving family, survivor of the genocide against the Tutsi, and then you have another family of Rwandans who came from different, a different part of the region who were not here during the genocide. So in this village, they live together. It's a reconciliation village. They call them reconciliation villages. So the king, amongst the activities he had in Chogam, he had to come and visit the reconciliation village. So I was tasked to interpret for those families, for the king as well. And in that moment, that's when, yes, I had been interpreting for so long, but I saw what that moment meant. Rwandans getting to tell their stories to the outside world, to someone like the king, who was not here in the genocide, who probably has heard about the genocide or seen images on the media, but never experienced it. And being able to communicate in that moment the feelings, the nuanced experiences of the perpetrators and the experiences of the survivor and the reconciliation efforts that have been done over the years with the support of the government. But that moment for me showed me that languages connect us beyond just speaking. Language breaks barriers. Language connects us, and language will give us more understanding. So in that moment, I could see that the king was getting more insight into the experience because now he's seated with the survivor, he's seated with the perpetrator, and they're sharing their experience, their feelings, their emotions with them. And as I was there, it clicked. Yes, I had been interpreting for so many years. I've attended many meetings, I've been in the media, I've moderated events. But that moment where the king gets to travel to Rwanda in 1994, and the Rwandans get to tell him their experiences, it was a very powerful moment. So for me, translation, maybe let me not emphasize media, but translation, interpretation, I have seen that language breaks barriers, language can transport us to different epochs in time and get us to feel different feelings. I hope that answers to a certain extent.
Yes, thank you very much, Barbara. And I'm so sorry I didn't introduce you.
No,
Barbara's
it's
got
okay.
a big bio, but let me just, ladies and gentlemen, say this just very briefly about Barbara Umuhoza, author of Shaped, managing director of Eclat Communications, and an expert in interpretation, public speaking, and high-level facilitation. She uses art and communication to amplify excluded voices and navigate post-conflict healing. Thank you very much, Barbara, once again. We have Elodie from Mento. Is that the correct pronunciation?
From Mento, yeah.
From Mento. Okay, from Mento. She is a fashion designer and cultural storyteller. Elodie is a Rwandan fashion entrepreneur and creative director who uses fashion to tell stories, celebrate heritage, and connect generations. As the founder of Ndabaga Streetwear and Izuba, she blends history with style to spark dialogue, restore pride, and explore what it means to belong. Her work reflects a belief in fashion, not just clothing, but as a cultural force, one that invites us to all to dream boldly across borders and divides. Wow. Wow. Elodie, I'm going to ask you a simple question. How do your fashion labels use storytelling to help youth and communities reclaim identity and trust in themselves.
Thank you so much, Doctor, for this introduction. It's an honor for me to be here. I hope you can hear me well. I think it's okay. So yeah, my name is Elodie Fromanto. To tell you a bit about my background, I'm half French, half Rwandese. I was born in Cameroon, grew up in France since I was 5. Then I moved to London when I was 20, and then I started working within the fashion industry in London. And a few years later, I was missing, when people would ask me where I'm from, I would always say, obviously, I'm half French, half Rwandese, but it's like I didn't really feel it. I felt the French strongly within me, but the Rwandese part was really missing. So I decided, end of 2020, in the middle of COVID almost, to actually come back to Rwanda. Originally, it was meant to be just for a few months, and then I ended up staying here, started a brand called Izuba. That was my first brand that I started. And to kind of come to the question, really like the journey that I've had within Izuba, or at least even when I came back here, my intention was to really reconnect with my roots, to understand what it meant to be Rwandan. And then I've had, it's been such a blessing because through my art, I also believe fashion is a calling, is a gift. So I'm blessed enough to be able to actually get to know my culture through the art of fashion. And yeah, so one of the things that I'm most passionate about is actually storytelling. And whether I do fashion styling, I do costume design, or I work for my 2 brands as a creative director for Izuba and Dabaga Streetwear. Storytelling is something that I'm so passionate about and is like driving me, right? So it's not just clothes to look good, but it's actually clothes that have power, that mean something to you. So in that research of becoming more Rwandan, I came across the beautiful story of Ndabaga. I'm sure most of you Rwandan know the story, especially youth. I hope you know the story. For those who don't know the story, basically, Ndabaga is one of the most powerful heroines of Rwanda. This is a story back in the 18th century. So she disguised herself as a boy to replace her father, who was working at the king's army. And she became one of the strongest, the most powerful warrior at the army, and eventually became the queen of Rwanda. So when I discovered her story in 2022, I believe, I felt deeply connected with her. And I called my mom, I was like, Mimi, how come you didn't tell me the story? Like, it's so powerful, And herself, she didn't know the story. And then my aunties didn't know the story. Most of our mothers, like they grew up outside Rwanda because of, our past. So meaning they don't know the story, the children don't know the story, but it's only, I think, I don't know how many years, but it's few years that actually every school in Rwanda is teaching the story of Dabaga, right, to the children, which is beautiful. So now my work within Dabaga Streetwear is to actually embrace our culture, to connect Rwandan youth to, to their culture, to where they're from, and yeah, just really empower them through clothing. Yeah, I think that's...
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I wish we had enough time. I would have made some follow-up questions, but let's move on to the next session, which is healing and cultural memory, with a theme, the role of art and culture in healing across political, ethnic, and generational divides. Many of our societies carry deep wounds from conflict, trauma, or exclusion. How can creative practices help communities remember, heal, and reconnect? I'll first with you, I'll go, I will ask you, Barbara, first. Your book, Shaped, is rooted in personal transformation. How can storytelling help us process trauma and build empathy?
Wow, thank you. So I wrote Shaped during COVID, in the first lockdown. And it didn't start out as a book. I didn't think I was a writer. So I just did a journal entry. For me, writing was like, okay, let me just do a journal entry, and lo and behold, I've written 5 pages. One of my friends tells me, this is a proper book, write your story. So I write my story. It's a memoir / biography. I write my story, and I get to the chapter about my mother's illness. So my mother suffered from an autoimmune disease for so many years, and the time of her illness, I didn't process the pain that came with having a sick mother. And she died when I was pregnant with my firstborn. I was 7 months pregnant with my firstborn. So I get to tell about that in the book. Because of the state I was in, being heavily pregnant, everyone was worried about me. Everyone was telling me, please do not cry because you're heavily pregnant. Just keep it in. What I didn't know during her last moments and her death and her burial and keeping it in was that I was hurting myself even more. So I carried this pain and hurt for so many years. And I would have bouts of depression, random bouts of depression around her birthday, around the time she died, around my son's birthday, or whenever my son would do something. I would immediately think, I wish my mom had seen my firstborn, and then I would spiral for like a week or 2, and I would of course keep it in. It's the random way, we know how to keep it in. So I had never truly processed my grief and my pain. I only got to process that when I was writing Shaped, that particular chapter of her life and her death. And when I started writing that particular chapter, detailing her illness, detailing her pain, detailing what it felt for me to lose her when I was pregnant, and the memories that I would never get to experience with her, it's like something broke in my heart. Like so many walls that had piled over my heart just broke open, and the grief came out. And for the first time, I cried. I cried, and that moment of writing her story allowed me to grieve, to feel the pain, and to breathe again. It's been, I wrote that in 2020, it's been 5 years, and her memories do not trigger any pain anymore. I don't carry the pain anymore. When I remember her today, I remember her fondly. I remember the good moments. Yes, I acknowledge that I lost her, but it doesn't carry the weight that it used to carry before. So what am I saying? When we engage in storytelling and we allow ourselves to feel our stories, not to just tell our stories, but to feel those experiences, to feel the emotions that come with our stories, it has the power to heal us. It has the power not only to heal us, but to connect with other people who are suffering, who also want to be given the permission to feel. So when I was writing that part, for me, it felt like it was my personal healing journey. But I have met people who have read my story and come up to me, tell me, thank you for allowing me to also be fearless and to feel the grief, not to shut it down, not to just act like everything is normal, to allow myself to cry, to allow myself to feel the loss. So what I want to say about storytelling is that storytelling doesn't necessarily, well, it doesn't end with us, but it invites other people to also embrace the permission to feel their story. It's not just to tell, but to also feel their story. And it connects us because we have all had different moments and experiences and emotions around what we have experienced. And when we connect as a group, as a collective, and we not only tell our stories, but feel our stories, we are creating a cycle of healing. It doesn't end with us. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you very much, Barbara. Yes, go ahead, please. Go ahead and put your hands together and appreciate Barbara. You know, Barbara is a great speaker. Elodie, how does Ndabaga reimagine history to empower young people and promote national healing? Repeat?
No, it's okay.
It's okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. So I believe that the story of Dabaga is one of the diamond. I believe she's like one of the diamond of you know, the culture that we have here in Rwanda. You know, the story of a woman, of a young girl who is a heroine is something that you don't hear much in the world. Like we hear about heroes, right? In general, they are white, they are men, but we don't hear about an African girl turning into a hero. Yes, I think especially, you know, especially in Rwanda with the past, the difficult past that we have, it's you know, having such a beautiful story, I think it's something that has to be honored. And then that's what I'm doing with Dabaga Streetwear, is to really try to like change the narratives. And, you know, for people not to just know, you know, Rwanda because of the genocide against the Tutsis in 1994, but to actually know that we have beautiful culture with powerful women, with, you know, powerful youth, and yeah, something that is way more greater and more joyful, let's say, you know, than the past that we all know. So I think, yes, you know, when I started working, being a creative director of Dabaga Streetwear, I could feel how people really connect, right? People are proud of wearing, you know, the clothes. People, it's not just, you know, it's like it really helps the youth to have a history that is rooted in strength, not just in trauma, right? So I think it's part of like having the community as well heal, right? Because you, like I said, you tell different narratives about Rwanda. And then I see, for example, like I've met like a group of kids the other day, and they told me that they live next from Tukibuye, and actually that's where Dabaga was from. So like, oh, you know, we live like we are from where Dabaga was from. So we also feel like hero ourselves. Yeah. So I just love seeing, you know, how empowered they feel. And it's not just for the Rwandan youth, by the way. I've been, you know, working with like different hotels, partnering with different hotels, and I see how international guests, you know, when I tell them the story of Dabaga, they enjoy it so much, they also connect with it, and they connect with the story of Rwanda, and they're really proud as well of taking that story abroad. So for example, I met this young kid, actually was here, I had a pop-up, I think last year, here in Kigali, and I've met this young French kid. I told him the story. He went home straight after, and then he told his grandma. And then I think when he went back to France, his mother sent me like pictures of his drawing of Dabaga, and then he actually did one of the presentation. I think it was about heroes, and he presented the story of Dabaga in his school, like in the southwest of France. Wow. So you know, I think it's a beautiful way of. Of being proud of our culture, and also a way of us, you know, Rwandans, Africans, of healing from, you know, different traumas, I would say.
Wow, thank you very much. You know, I envy these ladies. You know, they speak very fluent French, I believe. That one I know Mohoza, but him, Elodie, I believe she speaks French because she's French, you know. Yes. French. I think I will also learn French and speak good French as you guys speak English. Ladies and gentlemen, please a little bit patience from you. We are now going to the subsection 3, artistic expression as cultural diplomacy, with a theme, creative collaboration as a means of bridging world views and promoting peace. Culture is often described as a form of soft power, but it can also serve as a powerful tool for diplomacy, dialogue, and connection. Can you share a specific instance where your work helped bridge divides, whether between communities, institutions, or even across national borders? Let me ask you, Barbara, you operate at the intersection of business and creativity. How do you leverage both your corporate influence and creative voice to foster more inclusive and meaningful cultural dialogue?
Interesting. So I often find myself interchanging hats. I'm in the corporate space on some days, and other days I'm in the creative world. I was talking to one of my friends before coming to this panel, and I told him, am I really an artist? Because I'm wearing the corporate cape, and then some other days the creative in me just comes out, and I love when that creative person comes out. But I treat the two as a marriage, as a relationship. They all need each other. The corporate world needs the giftedness that comes with the creative world. It adds another layer. I don't know if I can call it this. It adds the icing on the cake when you bring the creative flair to the corporate world. And the corporate world brings a sharpness to the creative world that empowers us creatives to create, but also think of business and think of how to maximize and make money out of our creativity. So I call it as a relationship, as a marriage, where they each have different roles they play, and they each feed each other in different ways. And as a person who finds myself in both worlds, I've come to learn that as a creative, I need that extra touch of the corporate approach to life, the corporate approach to doing business, the corporate overview. And it has helped me build my business. It has helped position the business that I run, a communications business. But when I also bring the creative part, I see that people want more creativity. People want the creative energy that we bring, the creative aura that we bring. So I treat the two as a marriage, and it can benefit any artist, especially artists who are in this room and others who follow this beyond this. When we combine the two, you become an unstoppable force. Wow. Or if you can find a team that understands the corporate approach to doing things, and you combine it with your creative energy, your creative force, you become unstoppable.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, thank you very much.
Thank
Put your
you.
hands together, please, and applaud her. Hey, thank you very much. Thank you. Elodie, as you transition from London to Rwanda, how did fashion become a medium through which you connected your personal identity with your national heritage?
Thank you. So I think as an artist, our job is to actually reflect who we are, but also the times that we are in. So coming here in Rwanda, like I was saying, it was really about finding, understanding where I'm from, understanding my Rwandan culture, and having my second culture, which is French. When I started Izuba, so let me come back a bit in time, 6 months after I came here, my friend challenged me to start a collection. So I used to be a fashion stylist in London, and he was like, why don't you do a collection for, it was Kigali Fashion Week that was happening in 2021, July 2021, and I was going to work as a fashion stylist to help other designers style the collections. And my friend was like, no, why don't you do your own collection? And I was like, but that's crazy, because, the job of a stylist and the job of a designer is very different. Anyway, I ended up, going boldly and just taking on the challenge. And as soon as I start working on the kind of collection, the kind of story that I wanted to say, my both identities came. So I was like, I knew I wanted to do something that is French. So I thought, okay, Yves Saint Laurent, 90s, very much French inspired. So then I based Izuba on basically a fusion of classic French tailoring, especially from the 90s, with Rwandan heritage. So that's how I came across to tell, my cultures through my business. Yes, and what else I wanted to say? Sorry. Yeah, so I believe it's a way of obviously bridging, two cultures together, and yes, I hope I answered the question.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Time is not our best ally. Yeah. Can you applaud her, please? Thank you. Thank you. This is very, very critical. I cannot miss this other one. The sub-session on dreaming boldly for the future, with a theme, imagining inclusive futures through culture, with emphasis on the next generation. Very important, the next generation. And I think most of you guys there fall in this category. As we dare to dream about the future of cultural diplomacy, what bold visions do you see on the horizon? And how can we meaningfully empower the next generation of artists to not only participate in that future, but to lead and shape it? Barbara, what guidance would you offer to emerging artists seeking to use their creative voice as a means to bridge social, cultural, and political divides? Can you be very brief, because time is...
Yes,
Thank you.
I'll just be brief. Emerging artists need to let their voice come out, because their voice matters. And your voice coming out, your creativity coming out, it doesn't have to look like my creativity or her creativity or the next artist sitting next to you. Your unique voice is very important. Your unique voice is a gift. It's a divine gift. Your unique voice is, as a believer in God, I believe God has given your voice, your creativity, your gift as a gift to this world. So let it come out. However you feel it, however you sense yourself, the direction you sense yourself in, just let it come out. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to look like the future you envision now. You can work towards the future you envision now, but begin today. If it's a song, write it today. If it's a play, write it today. It doesn't have to be perfect now. Number two, always stay focused on the why. Why are you doing this? Why do you want to tell this story? Why? Never lose the why. Never lose the why behind everything you're doing. Keep the why in your face. Understand why you want to do this. Why am I reaching out? Why am I telling this story? Number three, maximize on the power of collaboration. We are not islands. Find your tribe. Find the people who get you. Find the people who refine you and people that you refine. But let's collectively merge our gifts and create masterpieces. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Wow. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Barbara. Elodie, in what ways can fashion and creative entrepreneurship empower young people to see themselves as catalysts for social transformation?
Nice, thank you. So yeah, like we said, fashion is not just an image. It really has an impact. As artists, I think we have a responsibility to tell our stories, to have impact, and to go with Barbara, what she was saying about collaboration. I think one of the most powerful things that we have as artists is to, the gift of having other artists to collaborate with. And recently I'm collaborated with two artists for the next products that I'm doing for Dabaga Story. People that, they are experts in what they are doing. So we have an illustrator, Odile Wera, who is like a great illustrator, who's working on the prints for cargo charters. So really to tell even the story deeper about who Dabaga is, what Rwanda is about, through the clothes. And then I'm working with another artist as well, Manisha, who's going to be telling, we're bringing basically the parents of Dabaga, the whole family, into the T-shirts. So I think collaboration is like one of the most powerful things definitely that we have as artists. Yes, I think I can finish on that.
Yes.
Thank
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Put your hands together, please, and applaud them. Now, I'm opening the floor to you people. Please just ask them very brief questions, one each. And may I request kindly our distinguished panelists to be very brief so that you can answer as many questions as you can. Thank you very much. You can give insights or you can ask just very brief, and please limit your insights to, yes please. Can you give that gentleman a mic? Please tell us your name and then the question. Is it going for James? James, are you still there?
Yes, I am.
Wonderful. Thank you, James. Yes, you just...
Thank you so much.
Okay.
My name is Lorian.
Okay.
Lorian.
Yes. And first of all, let me thank the panelists for this wonderful presentation. My question is very quick. James has been talking about this, and you have this kind of the global view of how we can nurture this art and the gifting of the staff. We've been trying to build this collaboration, international collaboration, and also the panelists who have been sharing what they've done. My question is, do we really have ways or resources or materials to make it happen in this generation? They might be happening, but maybe it's just to remind us that the resources are there.
Whom would you like to respond? James, Barbara, or Elodie?
Maybe James can tell us
okay.
This kind
James,
of
please.
overview, and
I hope
Barbara,
you've
and then
understood you heard the question. James? Hello? Hello, James? I think meanwhile as they fix the... Yeah, let's just ask someone else to ask. Maybe you ask or you give some insights. This side? Oh, you guys are okay? Okay, let's go there. Yes, please. Gentleman? Please be brief.
Thank you so much. My name is Elisha Kreva. I'm a creative social entrepreneur running a digital heritage preservation profile. When you see the Agenda 2063, Africa we want, from now it's a 38 years
20, Agenda 20?
2063.
Yes.
From now up to date, it's 38 years to go. So I'd like to ask, through this globalization in which the diversity, equity, and inclusion is being promoted, what does belongingness can be meaning to the creative community for the sake of such positive impact to the community? Thank you. Barbara, I'll you feed this question to respond.
I don't think I got it right. If we look at 2063, Agenda 2063, how does inclusion apply to the creative world? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes, let's first emphasize on the fifth aspiration of it, that emphasizing Africa with a strong cultural identity, common heritage, shared values and ethics. Through that perspective, beside of the DEI that most people like to say, I don't know if they neglect willingly their belongingness. What's your insight for the use of this belongingness toward that impact from creative to the community, toward meaningfully that Africa want?
I'll try to answer it to the best of my ability. Can we take another one? Maybe we take and then we answer all.
Another one, please. Yes.
Thank you very much. My name is Edmund Kajire. I am a journalist and a writer. And my question goes to Barbara. I ask this because I'm also a writer. As we know today, writing as a skill is dying literally because of digital platforms, Twitter, X, TikTok. People now prefer visuals and audio-visual to writing. So how can you rally people to continue writing as a way of telling their stories and healing in the process? And when I talk about writing, I also talk about reading as another skill, because you can't have writers without people who read what we write. Our attention span when it comes to reading has also been affected by the gadgets and the internet. We want things that really we look at quickly and then they pass. So we find ourselves in a place where reading and writing as a culture, as an art, as a practice is dying. How do we get young people to pick up the pens, the tablets? Because, I mean, this time we can't talk about the pen alone. How do we encourage young people to write and tell their stories, and to tell them that through writing they can heal, through writing they can express themselves? I'm saying this because I'm a little desperate and I want to hear what you have to say about this. Thank you.
Thank you, Edmund.
And I want to say that I was one of the first people who received your copy of Shaped.
Thank you, thank you.
I have to brag a bit.
Thank you, Edmund.
Thank you. So let me attempt to respond to the first question, belongingness, and how does this align with Agenda 2063, where Africa is going, and the creative world. One of the things that I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I feel like there is an African renaissance going on. When you see across different African nations, you see, and Africa is the youngest continent, but you see that there is a change of mindsets in African youth. The rise to Pan-Africanism, the rising of embracing their heritage, embracing our language, embracing our culture. We are coming from a time and a season where we were more drawn to what colonialism left us. But now I see an African renaissance, and I see the creative world contributing greatly to that. I'll mention a few examples. When we look at music, when we look at the music world, we see more Africans embracing our music. Let's go to Nigeria. We are embracing Nigerian music. I love Nigerian music. I listen to Amapiano sometimes. So there is a rise in us embracing who we are as Africans, who we are as our culture has set us to be. And it's not just regional. It's coming all over the continent. We are, and thanks to social media, thanks to the advance in digital technology, we are being exposed to different African cultures, and we're embracing the Nigerian culture, we're embracing the South African culture, we're embracing the North African art. All these things, I believe, are inspiring the youth and the creatives to come out, to blossom. And the more they blossom, I believe they carve a space for themselves in the future of our continent. I would say the more we express who we are, the more we express our culture, the more we express our creativity, we will be creating space. It's as if we're saying, we are here. This is who we are. This is what we want. And we are not going anywhere. And as a youth, as young people, I mean, look at her. She came all the way from France, and she's so immersed in Rwandan history, and she's telling the story beyond the Ndabaga street clothing to to European spaces. So I believe the more we come out as creatives, the more we allow the gifts in us to come out. We create a space, and by 2063, I believe we will be a different African continent. If the youth embrace their position, if the youth embrace their creativity, if the youth embrace their voices, and keeping in mind the why. Why are we who we are? Why are we doing this for our continent? Why are we doing this for our people? I don't know if I've answered, but I feel like there is a renaissance going on. So that's one. Number two, thank you. Number two, I'll answer Edmond. So when I was publishing Shaped, I realized the whole publishing cycle, well, the whole storytelling cycle, and this is just focused on writing, on books, it's a whole 360 degrees cycle. It doesn't start with just well, it could start with the idea, writing it, but as a writer, you have a writer living in these times where storytelling has taken different avenues and formats. You have to think beyond just writing your idea. I discovered there is so much more that goes into writing and publishing and telling these stories in written format than just sitting and writing and having a hard copy. So you have to think these other digital platforms you have, how are you going to utilize them? How are you going to tell your story in different formats that will always drive people back to your book? So what I did, yes, I had an idea, and then I journaled, then I wrote, then I went through publishing, then I advertised, then I reenacted the stories in the book. I'll give one example, and then that's it. So in my book, I write about how the genocide against the Tutsi found my family living in Uganda. And we were children. I was 7 years old, if I remember well. We could see the genocide in front of our eyes daily. And I remember at the time we were seeing, forgive me for getting graphic, we were seeing bodies come through Lake Victoria. And that image never left my mind. That moment, and I remember my father stopping to eat fish. To this day, my father does not eat fish because of that thing that happened. I carried it for so many years, and I didn't know what that felt until I wrote about it. I wrote about it in Shaped, but 3-4 years ago, I traveled back to Uganda, and I said, I'm going to go back to Uganda, and I am going to go back to Lake Victoria, and I'm going to allow myself to feel what I felt as a child when I was seeing bodies of our loved ones coming through Lake Victoria. So when I traveled back and I got to grieve those souls that were massacred in the genocide, I had a camera, I had a phone. We all have, well, smartphones. I had a smartphone. I took videos of that moment, and I told that story afresh, this time round in video format. And of course, telling people to go back and read Shaped to get the whole picture of the story. So what am I saying? If you're writing for this generation, for these times, you need to think beyond the pen and the paper. You need to think of how to digitalize your story without losing your love for writing, without losing the pen and the paper. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Any burning question? Do we, media people, do we have James ready?
I'm sorry, we can't take any more questions.
This lady, gender balance. That lady there. You want to ask only one, please? That lady there.
Hi, my name is Anika Michelle, and I'm going to ask this lady of fashion designing one question. Of course, me, I am not fashion designer, but I'm passionate about knowing more about fashion designing because I might put them in some of my projects that I would like to just design, yeah. Of course, fashion designing in our country, now currently in high school, in university, but they don't know how to relate fashion designing with the stories, with history, like fashion designing is art, is talent, right? But they don't know how to relate fashion designing with a story. Like you said, Ndawaga, for me, I can't get to connect how you connect fashion designing and your story, right? That's what I want to know, and how person who have different stories, right? How can they design them in fashion so that they can present the culture, or they can present like the feelings they have deeply, because it's art. We know when we are drawing or we are singing, we can present our culture in our art, right? We can present our feelings in our art. How come and how person can present her art, her story in fashion? That's what I want to know.
Thank you.
Cool.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for the question. I would advise you to start doing researches. I think research is one of the most powerful things that we have here. So go to the museum, go to the library, ask your aunties, ask your uncles, find stories, because we have so many stories here. Find stories, things that you really connect with. And then, when it comes to like create a collection, you want to start with a mood board, right? So a mood board is like a visual representation of things that you want to work, right? Like, visuals of like the direction in which you want to take your collection. So once you have all these images, then you're already creating the story through the mood board, if I may say. Then, for you to be able to like tell the story, your story, right? Your cultural story through the garments, there's different ways. You have, through shapes of the garments, through the prints. I'm a big fan of prints. I'm a big fan of, prints and colors. But yeah, you have shapes, you have many different forms that you can work with to really have a collection that tells a story that's impactful, that is close to you, but also close to your people, and that can inspire, the next generations, and the world.
Wow, 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 wow. Can you put your hands together and we applaud greatly our distinguished panelists? So before I pass on the mic to the MC, ladies and gentlemen, today we have witnessed that art is far more than expression. It is restoration, negotiation, and a powerful instrument of justice. Through personal narratives, policy insights, stitched garments, and amplified messages, our panelists have illuminated how creativity becomes a common language for healing and transformation. They have reminded us that to imagine together is a radical act of trust, one that transcends borders, histories, and identities. Cultural diplomacy is not an abstract ideal. It takes shape every time a voice is heard, a story is honored, or a tradition is carried forward through fabric, movement, or sound. On behalf of the Ubuntu Arts Festival, we extend our heartfelt thanks to our extraordinary distinguished panelists and to each of you for participating in this bold, necessary conference. May this be only the beginning of the stories we share and the futures we shape together. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you to our esteemed panel. Thank you, Dr. Charles Kiza from University of Rwanda. Thank you, James. Thank you, Barbara. Thank you, Elodie. Can we please have the panel take a quick photo? Thank you very much. A round of applause for the panel. Thank you. Okay, I will not waste your time, and it is time for lunch. So, can we please head out to the lunch area and get some food in our stomachs, and then we come back for the remainder of the conference. Thank you.